What if I told you that the biggest threats to your survival in a disaster aren't the obvious ones, but the mistakes you're about to make without even realizing it? In the next few minutes, you'll discover the 9 critical mistakes that turn manageable emergencies into life-threatening disasters. And more importantly, how to avoid every single one of them. Whether you're facing a natural disaster, economic collapse, or any crisis, these insights could literally save your life. Welcome to Food Fixer, where we help you become truly prepared for whatever life throws your way. If this information helps you, smash that like button and subscribe for more life-saving preparedness content. When disaster strikes, the first mistake most people make is rushing to the stores in a panic. You've seen it before: the empty shelves, the long lines, the fights breaking out over the last case of water. This panic buying doesn't just create chaos, it puts you directly in harm's way. Crowded stores during emergencies become pressure cookers of human desperation. People are stressed, scared, and willing to do things they normally wouldn't consider. Accidents happen when people are rushing around with heavy carts. Tempers flare when supplies run low. And when you're focused on grabbing what you can, you're not paying attention to potential threats around you. Here's what true preparedness looks like. You build your supplies gradually, thoughtfully, over time. While everyone else is fighting over the last loaf of bread, you're safely at home with your family, watching the chaos unfold on the news instead of being caught in it. You stock up on essentials like food, water, and medicine long before you need them. You avoid last-minute shopping entirely, or if you absolutely must go out, you do it before the panic sets in or wait until things calm down. The goal is simple. Make store trip. Is optional during a crisis, not mandatory. When you're prepared, you get to choose whether to venture out rather than being forced into dangerous situations. But even if you've stocked up properly, the second critical mistake is putting all your faith in a single plan. It's tempting to believe that your carefully crafted emergency plan will see you through any disaster. But reality has a way of throwing curveballs that no plan can anticipate. Roads get blocked by fallen trees or accidents. Communication towers go down. Your primary evacuation route becomes impassable. Your designated meeting spot becomes unsafe. When Plan A fails, and it often does, people freeze up because they never considered what comes next. Disasters are dynamic, ever-changing situations. What works in the first few hours might be completely useless days later. The key is flexibility and adaptability. You need to assume that your initial plan could fail and have alternatives ready. This means developing multiple plans for everything: evacuation routes, communication methods, supply management. Have at least a Plan B and Plan C for every critical aspect of your preparedness. Practice these plans with your family or group regularly. Run drills to identify weaknesses and improve your response times. Stay informed as situations develop and be ready to adjust your approach on the fly. The third mistake is closely related: overconfidence. Learning new skills and building up supplies can create a dangerous false sense of security. You take a first aid course and think you're ready to handle any medical emergency. You buy a generator and assume you've solved your power problems. You read about wilderness survival and believe you can handle anything nature throws at you. But here's the reality check. Unused skills fade over time, and supplies dwindle or expire when you're not paying attention. When a real emergency hits, that overconfidence can lead to poor decisions and dangerous situations. Just like schools conduct fire drills to ensure students react instinctively, you need to regularly practice your emergency plans and skills. This builds muscle memory and confidence while reducing hesitation and mistakes when it truly matters. Schedule regular drills for evacuations, first aid, and other critical skills. Rotate your supplies. Actually use and replace stored food, water, and batteries to keep them fresh. Review and update your plans as your situation changes. Because the fourth major mistake is over-relying on technology. Modern life has made us incredibly dependent on digital devices and systems, but these conveniences become massive vulnerabilities during disasters. Power outages, cyber attacks, equipment malfunctions can render your gadgets completely useless when you need them most. The recent CrowdStrike outage was a perfect example of how quickly our high-tech world can come crashing down. Airlines grounded, hospitals disrupted, financial systems offline. All because of a single software update. Now imagine that lasting not hours but days or weeks. You need to prepare for low-tech scenarios while still using technology when it's available. Learn basic skills that don't require electricity or internet connectivity. Know how to read physical maps, open cans manually, and communicate without digital assistance. Keep manual tools and printed maps on hand as backups. Plan for grid-down scenarios where you'll need to cook, stay warm, and communicate without power or internet. The fifth mistake is buying into the lone wolf myth. Hollywood loves the image of the rugged individual surviving against all odds, but in reality, very few people have the resources, skills, or mental fortitude to go it alone for extended periods. Community and cooperation are absolutely key to surviving prolonged crises. Different people bring different skills, resources, and perspectives to the table. Maybe you're great at medical care, but your neighbor is a skilled mechanic. Perhaps your friend has extensive food storage while you have security expertise. When you pool these resources and abilities, everyone's chances of survival increase dramatically. Start building these relationships before disaster strikes. Identify potential allies, people you can rely on and who might rely on you. Strengthen bonds with neighbors and friends through normal social interactions. Consider forming informal groups to share skills and supplies. The social connections you build during peaceful times become lifelines during emergencies. The sixth critical mistake is neglecting security. You can have all the supplies in the world, but if you can't protect them, they're worthless. Security is often completely overlooked until it's too late, and by then, you're already in a vulnerable position. Security isn't just about weapons, though personal defense is certainly part of it. It includes physical bars, like strong locks and reinforced doors, surveillance systems to monitor your property, and most importantly, situational awareness to avoid problems before they start. Make your home less appealing to criminals through proper hardening techniques. Install quality locks, reinforce entry points, and consider surveillance systems within your budget. Practice situational awareness in public. Stay alert. Avoid distractions like phones and watch for suspicious behavior. Plan for personal defense by understanding your options, from non-lethal tools to self-defense training. The seventh mistake is forgetting the little details that can derail everything. It's often the small oversights that create the biggest problems during emergencies. A missing can opener renders your canned food useless. Dead batteries leave you in the dark. Expired medications become ineffective when you need them most. These small details can turn a manageable situation into a full-blown crisis. That's why you need to regularly review your supplies and plans to catch these issues before they become major problems. Make detailed checklists and use them consistently. Check and rotate supplies to keep batteries charged, food fresh, and equipment in working order. Brainstorm what-if scenarios and think through all the details. What if your primary water source becomes contaminated? What if your vehicle breaks down during an evacuation? What if a family member gets injured? Address these potential weak points before they become real problems. The eighth mistake is overlooking long-term sustainability. Most people prepare for disasters that resolve within days or weeks, but some crises can drag on for months or even years. The Great Depression lasted over a decade. The recent pandemic disrupted normal life for several years. Economic collapses in other countries have created shortages and instability that persist for generations. Consider what you'll do if your stored supplies run out and normal supply chains are still disrupted. Skills like gardening, water purification, and basic repairs become invaluable in prolonged crises. Learn sustainable skills that can keep you going long-term. Diversify your resources. Don't rely solely on stored goods, but develop renewable sources of food, water, and energy. Prepare for economic disruption by understanding bartering systems, investing in tangible assets, and having backup plans for income. The goal isn't to become completely self-sufficient overnight, but to reduce your dependence on systems that might fail. The ninth and final mistake is underestimating the possibility of large-scale catastrophic events. While a complete societal collapse is unlikely, it's not impossible. Events like electromagnetic pulses, massive grid failures, or global conflicts could disrupt normal life for extended periods. You shouldn't live in constant fear of these scenarios, but it's wise to consider how you'd cope with truly catastrophic situations. Even if they never happen, the skills and resources you develop will serve you well in lesser emergencies. Stay informed about risks in your area and globally, but maintain perspective. Prepare for the most likely events while not ignoring the possibility of the extraordinary. Focus on developing resilience through skills and resources that are useful across a wide range of scenarios. A well-stocked pantry helps whether you're facing a blizzard or an economic downturn. Basic medical skills are valuable in any emergency. Communication plans work for everything from power outages to natural disasters. Remember, Preparedness isn't just about what you do, it's also about what you avoid doing. By steering clear of panic buying, overconfidence, over-reliance on technology, and the other common pitfalls we've discussed, you put yourself in a much stronger position to weather any storm. The goal isn't to be perfect or predict every possible scenario. It's about being as ready as you can be for whatever life throws your way. Focus on building flexibility, practicing your skills, fostering community relationships, and paying attention to the details that others overlook. Stay safe, stay prepared, and remember, sometimes what you don't do is just as important as what you do. If this video helped you think about preparedness in a new way, hit that like button and subscribe to Food Fixer for more content that could make the difference when it matters most. What other preparedness topics would you like us to cover? Let us know in the comments below.